Ghost from the Past 2 needs to deliver some of the hardest hitting reprints of the year, or players are going to be disappointed. Don't beg the 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get even further into 100,000. Ghost from the Past 2. Now, this set needs to deliver on a lot of things right now. And considering the secret rares that the ghost rares that we've seen floating around at this point in time, the ghost rares are going to be the driving force of this set. But Ghost from the Past needs to set the stage for the summer metagame. And when I say set the stage for, we need some very, very highly sought after reprints, ladies and gentlemen. So with that bearing in mind here, I need you guys to understand, when you look at a set like Ghost from the Past, that fundamentally it's basically meant for the nostalgia market. All right, I know a lot of players like, yeah, I know, I could tell, possibly the Eye of Timaeus being in here as a ghoster. Yeah, I get it. All right, this is not a set really for the competitive player base, even though we have Boral End Dragon, Decode, Heat Soul, Talker, some of these more sought after cards. But when I say we need to set the stage for this, you have $100+ Alubers running around. You have Mega Risas running around at ridiculous price points, ladies and gentlemen, and it's ridiculously stupid. All right, Mega Risa should not be borderlining $50 to $70 per copy a card. All right, Aluber's one printing doesn't surprise me because it hasn't technically met the requirement window for a reprint yet, but it is something that Konami needs to do. Well, you're like, well, Robbie, okay, so why does it have to be in Ghost from the Past? Why can't it be another set? Tell me in another set down the pipeline here where you see an opportunity for Konami to do this. Because the next reprint window for any sort of thing here, all right, is Megatins in September, all right? I bet you didn't want to hear that. All right, there's no Gold Series planned right now. There's no, Battles of Legend until later on in the year. You look at how this year is structuring right now. Ghost from the Past has to deliver on those key reprints, or you're just going to see players cry even harder. All right, and I want to defend this product. I want to defend this and go, Konami will make the right call for this. All right. One of the things that I'm definitely highly anticipating in Ghost from the Past here is this set needs another Forbidden Droplet reprint in it. I hope that Konami has actually taken note of how the current structuring of the community is going and going, well, we need to reprint Forbidden Droplet again in this set. Droplet technically has an ulti. It's got double secrets at this point in time. Ghost from the Past 2 would be a good place to put it as an ultra. Should be a common somewhere for more mass ability, but knowing how Konami works in their mysterious ways here, darn well that they're going to drop it off as, well, an ultra somewhere. So that's a little bit of hopeful news, at least, if you're out here picking up this product and you're like, well, I want to buy a display for an example. And you're like, all right, I want to try to pull a ghost rare. Well, you could pull a Forbidden Droplet. Is it a ghost rare? No, but it does have, generalized playability. So fingers are crossed on that regard that some sort of value in the higher end department will come to fruition, at least in terms of Forbidden Droplet. I've heard a lot of people looking at this set going, Ghost from the Past 2 is a good point to do things. It's just, we're so far in between reprint sets at this point in time. Last year you had Ghost from the Past and the Battles of Legends that literally went bop bop, and then you go like that 5-month window where there's really nothing that you can see in terms of actually I think it was longer than that, because Gold Series was, well, I guess technically December was that, and then you're 5 months, 6 months later, they roll on out Ghost from the Past here. You're like, well, you're not going to see that other reprint window for another 3 to 4 months. So now I want to revisit the topic of Mega Risa here. Now, Mega Risa is a 1 of to 2 of in Flunder. I gotta make the little nod for the mention of 2 there, because honestly, spending $140, ladies and gentlemen, on a card that hasn't been reprinted in 4 years is ridiculous. All right, if you're somebody out here that is looking at Ghost from the Past 2 and hoping. I would not, I honestly think that this would be a very good point for them to drop Mega Raiza, and because it doesn't hurt them to reprint the card again. I honestly think at the end of this, depending on how the Albaz Strike structure deck goes, and looking at how Ghost from the Past is, I have a feeling Flunder might get a lot cheaper. I mean, no real hope for prosperity reprints along the way, but if Extrav Common stays in the structure deck, and then a cheaper Mega Raiza comes along the way, well, congratulations. You just shaved, what, 80, 90 bucks off of a Flunder deck? And I would say that that's even better news for budget players out here, ladies and gentlemen. I read some comments from some other budget players. They're like, I would rather, not play Yu-Gi-Oh! Than play Flunder. I mean, that's your opinion. It's kind of dog water, but that's your take, and that's fine. But there are players out here that do want to have opportunities to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. And seeing, things like this being created would be good. Now, we need to talk about a Luber here. So, Luber is locked behind Dawn of Majesty, which is further locked behind Megatins. Now, the bad news here is, ladies and gentlemen, if they don't reprint a Luber here, I don't know where in the heck, besides Tins, maybe a Battles of Legends set later on, but I don't think that all matters. All right, I'm pretty sure that Konami looked at the branded structure deck and said, all right, we're releasing this in April. Ghost from the Past will be literally right behind. Well, technically it would have been March versus April, but the product got delayed. So I have a feeling, based on that logic here, that Konami would have planned ahead and went, you know what, we're gonna drop an Ultra Luber reprint in here. That way the player base gets the chance to play it. And I want to believe that Konami was smart enough to fulfill that agenda here, because if not, you're going to continue to see those $100 price tags on a Luber. All right. The point of this video is to mention that Ghost from the Past is a lot more critical of a set than we really wanted it to be. A lot of people wanted this set to be, oh, look, it's a nostalgia reprint set. It brings Boral Savage, and it brings, Heat Soul, or, Code Talker to our game. Yeah, those were cards that we've needed for a hot second. I'm glad that they're finally printing them in here. But the problem is, budget players need Konami to actually, listen and prepare for this, because I don't want to see these Aluber price tags hitting this $100 for too long. I don't want to see the player base going, this could be one of the most expensive WCQ seasons that you've ever seen. All right, 3 Alubers, packed in with like Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, for example here, packed in with like the rest of the base deck core, with my Rite of Armesiers and Water Enchantresses. That's over $1,000 in terms of meta potential right there. And if Konami can go, all right, we can reprint a Luber in here. That way, at least players can maybe test out some of the more splashable budget builds. And I mentioned budget here because the branded structure deck should be relatively cheap, at least in terms of being paired with Ghost from the Past 2. All right, so Konami, listen to your player base here. I know this product has definitely been in development for the last 6 months, but you've had enough time up through that point to have planned ahead with the branded structure, with Albaz Strike. You've had enough time to look at Mega Raiza and go, oh, yeah, we probably should reprint this. This set also has a lot of potential for upward reprints as well. One of the key things we saw from this set was Konami mentioned, some older cards that were never printed holo finally getting holo treatment. And I think that's a cool potential driving point to the set. But once again, you need to encompass all of this. You need to wrap this all up, slap a nice bow on it, and you need to go, all right, TCG, we're going to patch up your problems. We're going to give you guys a semi-competent year. And if they fail to deliver on that, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have one of the worst metagame experiences that you've seen in a very long time in terms of value. It's already racking up pretty disgustingly high as I'm making this video. But that does say that I have a chance to say, I believe in you, Konami. Don't fumble the ball on this one and deliver for your player base. Do you guys think that Ghost from the Past 2 will live up to the reprint expectations in which the community needs? Or do you think that the set is destined to fail? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I love reading my comments. Positive or negative, but at least if we can hit those key reprints in this set, I think this set has a chance to be an absolute banger. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.